Namaste, and welcome to Self-Care 101. I'm Sunayana, and I'm here today to help you boost your immune system. I'm a multiple cancer survivor, and I have cardiomyopathy. And what that means for me is that I'm concerned about my immune system's response to battle the coronavirus, should I be exposed. And so I'm doing a bunch of things to minimize my exposure, like wearing masks and washing my hands. But I'm also doing things that are helping me bolster my immune response. And so what that means is that should I get exposed to the coronavirus, my body will then be in a better place to fight the coronavirus. It's like going to the gym to make yourself stronger so that you can do more. So this is my version of going to the gym for coronavirus. I'm making my immune system strong. I've already covered a couple of things in a previous video regarding breathing exercises that I've been doing for myself, and I encourage you to take a look at that video and start incorporating some breathing exercises for yourself. But I'm going to quickly go through a bunch of other things, trying to get this video under 15 minutes, and this is my fourth try. So let's begin. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is zinc picolinate. And I want you to know that all of the information that I put in this video, the links are down in the description. So please do take a look, because this is all evidence-based, empirical, peer-reviewed information. So new research suggests that zinc helps control infections by gently tapping the brakes on the immune response in a way that prevents out-of-control inflammation that can be damaging and even deadly. So I have this, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more because this has not only zinc picolinate, and so if you do want to use zinc picolinate, the recommended IUs are 50 per day. But I'm also going to get into talking about some of these other things that are incorporated within what I just held up. So that's got my zinc picolinate in it, but it also has my magnesium. And magnesium has a strong relation with the immune system in both nonspecific and specific immune responses, and magnesium deficit has been shown to be related to impaired cellular and humoral immune function. Magnesium deficiency leads to immunopathological changes. So that is really important. And this that I held up before has got my zinc in it, and it's got my magnesium in it, and it's also got B6 in it. And then I also have my D3. Find it. My D3. As the vitamin D receptor is expressed on immune cells, and these immunologic cells are all capable of synthesizing the active vitamin D metabolite. Vitamin D has a capability of acting in an autocrine manner in a local immunologic milieu. Vitamin D can modulate the innate and adaptive immune responses, and deficiency in vitamin D is associated with increased autoimmunity as well as an increased susceptibility to infection. Immune cells in autoimmune diseases are responsive to the ameliorative effects of vitamin D. The beneficial effects of supplementing vitamin D deficient individuals with autoimmune disease may extend beyond the effects on simply bone and calcium homeostasis. So what that means is that I'm taking these 5,000 IUs. I'm taking them twice a week right now. Although if you end up getting coronavirus, you might want to up that to like twice a day. The thing that I'm really excited about are a couple of things that I found out about for the first time. So, and excuse me for going quickly, but I'm really trying to keep this under 15 minutes so I can finally upload this. This is carob syrup. And carob syrup or carob molasses or carob essence is a very healthy nutrient that might prevent many diseases. It has antioxidant, antibacterial and antiseptic properties. Carob strengthens the immune system, fights cancer, and protects cardiovascular health. That's really great for my cardiomyopathy. It's rich in calcium and contributes to bone development and prevents osteoporosis, which I also have from the chemo that I've taken. It helps weight loss because it gives a feeling of satiety, and that's wonderful, although I don't have an issue with eating too much. Carob balances blood sugar levels and blood pressure. It enhances sexual performance through an aphrodisiac effect. I'm not really sure I need that, but this is something new to me. So I didn't know this before, and I've gotten some pure carob syrup. Again, the brand is not important. Focus on the message, and the message is that this stuff can really help you with immune response and bolstering yourself and starting from a stronger place. So not only that, but you can take some of this carob syrup or carob molasses or carob essence, and you can mix it with Menuka honey in some warm water. And Menuka honey is really very, very special. While all honey contains healing properties, Menuka honey is particularly special because it is harvested exclusively from beehives that feed on the flowers of the Menuka bush. Menuka honey is not only said to be an antibacterial and an antimicrobial, but it is also said to have immune-boosting qualities that are unrivaled in other types of honey. So what I can do is I can take this Menuka honey and I can mix it with my carob syrup, and then I can add a bit of turmeric to that because that's got anti-inflammatory properties, and I can drink that. And if you're so inclined, you can also mix in some Himalayan pink salt, because that's also really, really good. And what you could do with Himalayan pink salt, aside from ingest it, is you can also do the vapors, right? Vapors are incredibly important, and vapors open up your ability to breathe. So they're really, really good for any lung disorders. And so this COVID is attacking the lungs and causing a lot of pulmonary issues. And so these vapors are really good. And if you're not familiar with how to do it, what you can do is, okay. This is just one example of how you can use these essential oils. You fill water up to about here in the dish, and then you put a few drops into the water of your eucalyptus, some salts. You can put in peppermint. You can put in, let's see what else, spearmint. These all open up the passages. And what you do after you put the water in with a few drops is you put then one of these tea light candles in, and that just helps the vapor get up into the air that you're breathing in the room that you're sitting in. So that's another way to use vapors if you don't want to boil the water with the stuff in it and put the towel over and inhale the vapors that way. Although if you do get COVID, I highly suggest that you use these vapor practices to help open up the nasal passages and help you to breathe. So it can be preventive in helping you open up those passageways to begin with, but also wonderful in helping you keep them open should you get the coronavirus. Now, there's something else that I want to talk to you about quickly, which is the black seed oil. In, let's see, black cumin or Nigella Sativa seed has been widely used traditionally as a food ingredient and herbal remedy for treatment of many inflammatory and allergic diseases in African, Arab, and Indian nations, especially in the southwest of Asia. By now, many active ingredients have been identified and isolated from N-sativa of different varieties: oil, carbohydrates, protein, fiber, ash, saponins, generally present in N-sativa seed. There are trace amounts of non-oily and non-caloric components with pharmacological effects in the plant seed. These constituents are phytoalkaloids. In experimental and clinical studies, antioxidant and immunomodulatory, anti-inflammatory, antihistaminic, anti-allergic, antitussive, and bronchodilatory properties of Nigella Sativa. Different extracts, fractions, and constituents were demonstrated. Clinical studies also showed bronchodilatory and preventive properties of the plant in asthmatic patients. The extract of N-sativa showed a preventive effect on lung disorders. Therefore, N-sativa and its constituents may be considered effective remedies for the treatment of allergic and obstructive lung diseases, as well as other respiratory diseases. This information comes from the National Institute of Health. And so this was new information for me. Black seed oil as a supplement, pure carob syrup, and again, mixing the carob syrup and the Menuka honey into warm water, and perhaps even adding some turmeric. And I like to add some roasted amaranth and some other flax seeds even sometimes, but you get the idea. So all of these things can help you start from a stronger viewpoint. Now, I also want to quickly make sure that I cover that we are suggesting and advocating that everybody wear a mask when you're out and about, okay? These masks are great because these kinds of masks have a pocket where you can put a paper towel that's folded up or a coffee filter. Coffee filters are great. Into here, if you cannot get an N95 mask. And the other thing is make sure that you understand and teach your kids that soap is the best way to kill the virus. So what it does is it destroys that lipid layer that the virus has around it, which it does better than alcohol, which the solutions are based on. So instead of going to like a Germex or a Purell, wash your hands with soap. That's a much better option. And make sure that you're disinfecting things that come into your house from outside. So again, some of the things that we can think about adding to our regimen are peppermint, eucalyptus, spearmint oils to help with breathing, zinc picolinate, vitamin C, do 1,000 milligrams at least a day. I like to do 2,000. And the studies have shown, and I talked about this in another video, that people who are getting COVID are being treated with IV vitamin C in the East. And that's like 6,000 to 12,000 milligrams per day, sometimes up to 24,000, IV units inpatient when they're in the hospital. So vitamin C, vitamin D3, we normally get it from the sun. We're not able to be out in the sun right now. I'm not able to be out in the sun. And so it's really important to make sure that you supplement that and get your vitamin D in, carob molasses, Menuka honey, black seed oil. Also, the vapor. So make sure that you, if you can vapor with this too, with Himalayan pink salt and lemon. You can just ingest the vapors. If you don't know how to do that, it's like Vicks Vapor Rub. You put some in boiling water, then you take the water and you sit it down, you put a towel over your head and you just drape yourself so that you're inhaling the vapors and they're opening up your nasal passages. And also then, of course, the oil diffuser that you can have in your home. So this is kind of preventively to help keep those passageways open. If you do get COVID, you then want to start doing those serious vapors from the pot with the towel over your head. And so this is just an example with the tea light, somewhere that you can get the vapors into the room that you're sitting in as you're doing whatever it is that you do. So keep yourself strong and healthy and wear your masks. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands and take whatever these supplements that you can. You don't have to do them all. Figure out what it is that you have at home, perhaps, so that you don't have to spend any additional money. You can do one or more or all of these. I intend to do them all, but then again, I've got a lot of health issues. And with that, I'm going to close this video because I'm going to run the risk of going over 15 minutes again. So this has been Sunayana with Self-Care 101. Thank you for joining us again, and join us again another time in our next video. Namaste.